In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to combine like terms and evaluate expressions. So let's do the vocab first. Variable. It's a symbol or usually a letter that represents one or more numbers. So a lot of times you'll see x, like 2x, or w plus 3. It doesn't have to be a letter. It could be something like the Greek alphabet, like theta, like 4 theta, maybe -1. Right? So these right here are your variables. They're just a quantity we don't know. Sometimes we're looking for them, sometimes it's just there. It's just some number we don't know what the value is. An algebraic expression is just an expression that contains one or more variables. So these are all algebraic expressions, but they got more than one variable. See, sometimes you see something like 2x squared plus x, or even different variables like 3y minus 2w. Those are all algebraic expressions, along with these. Evaluate is to find the value of an algebraic expression. So when you evaluate, these are just like simple. You add up like terms. If you happen to know what the variable, if they give you the variable, then you could use PEMDAS to simplify and get an answer. So that's evaluate. Just want to simplify things. You following the rules of PEMDAS. Term, a number, variable, or product of a number that has one or more variables. So what they mean by that is like these are like, see how this has two things here. There's something plus something else. Those are considered two things. Each one's considered a term. So this is a term, and then this is a term. So I could keep saying like x squared plus 3x minus 4. This would have three terms. A term here, x squared, a term there, 3x, a term there. So those are the terms. Constant term is a term with no variable. So like in my example here, this guy would be the constant term. In my examples over here, the 3 would be the constant term, and the -1 would be the constant term, right? There's no variable. It never changes. It's just always -4. Once I figure out what this x is, or if they tell me what x is, these are going to change to a value, but this would always stay -4. Coefficient, the numerical factor of a term. So coefficient is generally the number in front. So like my coefficient would be the 3 here. So if I'm talking about coefficient, it's the value in front of it. So the 3 here. If you don't have one, it's a 1. So the 2 here, the 1 here, the 3 there, the 2 there. Those are the coefficients. And then like terms are terms that have the same variables raised to the same power. So the generalizers have to match. So for example, if I gave you 2x squared plus 3x minus 4y plus 5x, the only things here that are like terms, they have to be like exactly, they have to match. So it's like a matching game. Would be the 3x with the 5x, right? Those are exactly the same terms. 2x squared is not the same term as 3x, right? This has a square, different. 4y, even though it has a power of 1 like x does, they're different variables. It has to be exactly the same. So only two I could actually add here would be the 3x and the 5x. Now I get 8x. So this would turn into 2x squared plus 8x minus 4y. So those are like terms. Okay, let's break this down for examples. So example 1a here, they're giving us 7a. Terms, this only has one term, right? There's only one thing there. Coefficient is the number in front of it. That would be the 7. Like terms, there's really no like, there's only one term, so only one term. And if I ask you to simplify, well, you can't really do anything. 7a is a 7a, you're done. Okay, next one. Terms, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, right? These are all separate terms. So 4 terms. Coefficients, well, the a cubed has a 3. A squared has a 3, I should say. Then we have -2, -1, and 3. Like terms are the same. The a squares are like terms. So 3a squared and -a squared. So next we want to simplify it. So the way we simplify, we just add the like terms. So 3a squared minus 1a squared. 3 minus 1 is 2. So we're going to get 2a squared. Everything else stays the same. Minus 2a plus 3. And now we have 3 terms. Okay, this one here. How many terms? 1, 2, 3, 4. Coefficients. I have 2, -1, 3, and -3. My like terms. Well, the a cubes are alike, and the a squares are alike. So I'll write them twice. So I'm going to write negative a cubed plus 3a cubed. And then we'll also write 2a squared minus 3a squared. Okay, so let's simplify this. So I could add the 2a squared with the negative 3a squared. 2 minus 3. So if you had $2 and subtract $3, it's going to be negative 1. So negative 1a squared. And then inside here, negative a plus 3a. So the general rule is anytime there are different signs, you subtract. So like the first one, 2 and negative 3 are different signs, so you subtract. 2 minus 3 minus 2 is 1, but it's a bigger negative, so negative 1. Over here, right, negative 1 and 3, different numbers, so you subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. Which one's bigger? The positive was. So positive 2a cubed. Or just 3 minus 1 is 2. So we have that, and that's our answer. Now we only have two terms. So next, evaluate each simplified expression above given a is negative 2. So we want to go back to our values here. Our answer is 7a. 2a squared minus 2a plus 3. And negative a squared plus 2a cubed. You can put the negative 1 in front, but you don't really need the 1. Anytime it's a 1, you can just leave it. But either way it works. So now what they want to do is they want to evaluate the expression with a negative 2. So we're going to substitute negative 2 in for the a. You can say plug in, but substitute's a more correct term. So we're substituting, and where we see an a, we're substituting in the negative 2. So like here it'd be like this. Okay, now let's simplify. 7 times negative 2 is this negative 14. Over here, now remember, don't forget our order of operations, right? PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I have to do parentheses first. Now, these are not, I know these look like parentheses. There's actually no parentheses. There's only one term inside of there, so don't have to do parentheses first. We actually do exponents first, right? Exponents comes before multiplication. A lot of people get confused and think this is a parenthesis. Only thing inside the parentheses is this guy. So there's really no parentheses, just an exponent we gotta do first. So we're gonna do this guy first. So this comes first. Negative 2 squared is 4. Now remember, when you square something, it becomes positive. So negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. There's still a 2 on the outside that's being multiplied. And then here, I'll just rewrite it first. So next, right, before we add, we have to multiply divide. So we're gonna multiply these two, and we'll multiply these two. So I get 8. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 plus 3. And then we just add them all up. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. Okay. Over here, kind of same idea. We want to do there's no parenthesis. Again, there's only one thing inside of it, so it doesn't really count. We have to do the exponents first. So I'm going to do negative 2 squared. And just like before, we square, we get positive 4. There's still a negative on the outside, right? That didn't get affected. That guy came straight down here. Over here, negative 2 squared is negative 8. So plus 2 times negative 8, which gets me negative 4 minus 16. They're both negative, so anytime they're the same sign, you just add them up. So I get negative 20. Okay, let's do a few more. We're going to simplify this a little faster, though. So we're going to simplify this. First thing I do is add up like terms. So let's figure out which is like term. So x squared has to go with the other x squared right there. X goes to the other x. And then the constant term of 3 is by itself, so it doesn't do anything. So first let's add these x's. 3x squared plus a positive, or some the variable in front of it, so positive x squared. So it's kind of like doing 3x squared plus 1x squared. It's going to give me 4x squared. Then this the x's, a negative 5x, and a negative 4x, right? So no, it's the negatives in front of them, so it's a negative 5x, negative 4x. Anytime they're the same sign, so in this case they're both negative, you just get more of them. So I have a negative 5, subtract another negative 4, same sign, you just add them. So negative 9x. And then the 3 is by itself, plus 3. Okay, next one. Before we could add up like terms, we have to distribute. So you have this 5 outside this parentheses. So we have to distribute this 5 into both of these things. When we distribute, we multiply. So 5 times 2 is 10x. Just said 5 times 2x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Over here, 2 times 4 is 8. 8x. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times 1 is 2. And then there's a plus 7 on the outside. And just like before, we're going to add up like terms. So I could add the x's with the other x. And I could add all the constant terms together. So we'll go faster now. 10 plus 8 is 18x. Negative 15, let's write all these out here. Negative 15 plus 2 plus 7. So again, if I did these two first, they are different signs. When they're different signs, subtract. So I'm going to do 15 minus 2 is 13. But which one's bigger? The negative was bigger, so it stays negative. And then we're going to do that. We're going to go plus 9. So same idea, they're different signs, so just subtract. So it's 4. 13 minus 9 is 4. The negative is bigger again, so it's a negative. So you get 18x minus 4. And again, I'm showing all the steps. You can just add them. If you know how to add, just add them, right? 15 minus 2, negative 13 plus 9, negative 4. So get there. Okay, last one, real quick. I will do this one. Last one's here. So we're going to find the perimeter. Now, when you do the perimeter of something, you're adding up all of the outsides. This guy, plus this guy, plus this guy, plus this guy, plus that guy, plus that guy. So if you look at here, we have to add up all the like terms. So we're going to be adding this 5x to this 4x to this 3x to this 2x, 2x, and 3x. So I'm a little faster, so let's add the x's here. 5x plus 4x is 9x. 9x plus 3 is 12x. 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 plus 2 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19x. Then let's do the y's. So negative 3y and a negative 1y. That's a little tougher. They're both negative, so it's negative 4y. Negative 4y plus 5y. Right? So again, different signs. I'm subtract. It's only be 1y. 5 minus 4 is 1. The positive is bigger, so it's a positive 1i. So we have, man, I should write all. The y's are tougher. Let's write the y's down real quick. So negative 3y minus 1y. I'm going around here. So 3y, 1y, plus 5y, minus y, plus 2y, plus y. Alright, so I went all the way around. Negative 3y, negative y, plus 5y, minus y, plus 2y, plus y. It's a plus. So if I added these two, I get negative 4y. If I add these two, I get 4y. If I add these two, I get 3y. I'm looking for us. These cancel out. Negative 4 plus 4. So my answer is this being 19x plus 3y. That's how you add up like terms.